Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Automation Nation Inside Barnum. I'm Cody, and today we kind of got a behind the scenes episode. Today we got our marketing department lead on today, and we're going to talk about all the stuff that happens to get this itself going and all the other projects around Barnum that either people might not know about or maybe we just want to shine some light on. So we got Stefan here with me today. Stefan, if you want to introduce yourself,
Yep.
let us know what you do.
Yep. First of all, thank you for having me on your podcast. Never thought that I would become the focus of one of your shows, so I appreciate that.
Been
Yeah.
dabbing every department, and eventually we had to make it to you guys.
Yeah. Love it. Love it. Well, not that I really like to show how we make the sausage, but I'm ready to share that secret recipe. From a marketing perspective, we're here to support, to bring air cover, ground cover to the outside sales and inside sales in terms of communication, collateral. Part of what we're trying to do is raise awareness of the Barnum brand. And so we function almost as an internal full service agency. So there's nothing, I'm proud to say there's nothing that an outside sales individual or inside sales individual can present to us that we aren't able to produce.
It's not like clean cut, here's the couple things that our group can do and you get to choose from this list. It's very wide open. You guys have the option and opportunity to really create.
Yes, every day it's something different. So although we have some files that we say are templates,
Yeah.
nothing is really a template. It's all based on the individual coming to us who's out in the field, in the trenches, saying that I have a client with this particular situation. I need a solution. How can you help?
So how long have you been kind of headlining that group?
Well, it's been about 3 years. I came in and I had some some big boots to fill. Laura Bordeaux was the one-stop shop for Barnum for a long time. And then she retired and I was able to step in and then basically grow it from there. I feel that part of the success was once the sales and inside sales knew what we could do, that's when they started beating a path to our door.
Sure. It wasn't just we have someone that maybe can do that for you. It's, hey, we got a department that is willing to figure it out for you.
Right.
Yeah.
There's no barrier. We'll do anything in our power. And if we can't, we'll find someone that can do it. One of the things that I can share with you, although we're called a marketing group, we're really a content development group. And I brought a roadmap, if I will,
Yeah.
to share with you our strategy. This was created right in the beginning when I came on board. One of the pillars that we stand by is that content that is relevant and has a perceived value creates a desired behavior. So the content that we're creating, the desired behavior that we want is sales for our outside sales. So whatever content that we can create, we first look at it as what type of value are we bringing for the outside salesperson, but then to the client or the prospect.
Yeah. End of the day, overall blanket is it's a sales company and you need to drive sales. So the whole broad scheme of it
Yes.
needs to fit under that.
Yep. So it's all 100%. And again, content must have a business intent and provide a feature and a benefit. So just like Barnum is a solutions company. We are a solutions-based marketing department with our product being content that we push out into other channels, and we deal those channels that will range from social media, search engine optimization, content marketing, email marketing, website. Events, recruitment is a big portion of that as well, because we want to bring in quality candidates along with the event. So this was basically a general strategic roadmap for us that we developed it. It's almost timeless because everybody needs content. Everyone needs to have content developed, and we're just putting it into the different channels that present themselves.
Yep.
Just like this podcast. This podcast is a brilliant content development machine. Video is one of the most engaging mediums that you can possibly put out there. And I love the fact that with your format, it's long form because we're so used to bite-sized, snackable pieces of content.
Yeah, and for a lot of stuff, that's exactly still what you want. You want just, maybe a quick tutorial.
Correct.
But like we've said before, we don't see too many people in our realm dipping into long form.
Right.
And just getting more than just that one topic in your face.
Yeah, exactly. And our marketing group has the courage to do that. To go long.
Now this map here that you have laid out, and you can kind of see it if you're watching the YouTube, but is this something that is external that people can find on our website or whatnot and kind of see a marketing goal, or is this mainly just for us here? You're going to have this in your room, salesman, customer can come by and really see this is how we develop our marketing.
Right. I had to bring some sort of sense to what we're doing so that we weren't necessarily just knee-jerk responses to requests or order takers, although we are.
Yeah.
But it all has to ladder up to a bigger strategic thought.
Yeah.
And that goes back to what I had just said, in the beginning in terms of having a perceived value. If we stick with that, then we're not just creating content for content's sake. There's an intent behind that.
Yep. Or giveaways for giveaways' sake.
Right.
Things like that. Just have just random stuff with the Barnum name on it. If it doesn't have any value.
Right, exactly.
Strategic
value. And there's also, you think of marketing as an outside sort of endeavor, but it's also communication within the organization. Barnum has an incredible culture, and that culture is what really is part of our DNA, part of our identity. And we're here also to communicate internally, to not to remind, but to keep top of mind the culture and how the culture was built, because that really is one of the relevant differentiating benefits that Barnum offers, that you can't manufacture, you can't print that out. It's just intrinsic to who we are.
Yeah, I think we've touched on that on every single person that's come on this podcast so far. I mean, the culture drives Barnum.
And it isn't until you are immersed in it that you get it.
Yeah, because you're just like, whatever. Everyone always says it's their culture. It's almost like the Detroit Lions the last couple of years, where everyone's like, whatever. Everyone has their own culture, and then people started seeing it, and others try to mimic it, and they can't.
You can't.
Like it's
you can't do it.
Barnum has that same thing,
and it takes time. And and that's you can't rush, like in Toy Story, you can't rush art. So for Barnum, you can't rush culture.
Yeah. I noticed too, with having, kind of a plan for all your stuff with this too, just the organization between departments and having templates and ways to present things in a similar manner has really grown too. I mean, just maybe cheat sheets or, just even groups of material that's now skinned the same and looks the same, and not everyone's just coming to you saying, can you please Barnum up this paperwork I made? So it all has a nice flow to it now. It makes us look more, I don't know, group oriented, that we're all
we have a brand.
We're presenting the same thing.
Yeah,
as a brand.
We have a brand identity, which
so and so's project they're working on.
Yes,
it all molds together.
And that brand identity is what really creates a cohesive type of look, a cohesive type of communication, anywhere down from the business cards all the way to the automation trailer, to the vending machines that we have out there, to the VMI, and to the quick reference guides. Everything has that look. It's our version of the Coca-Cola brand, if you will. And that brand has equity and has leverage, and it has value in the marketplace, because people look at our logo and look at our visuals, and we're identified immediately, and that's really big.
Well, and it helps, I guess, in the fact too that there are different tiers of people with creative knowledge here. You know, there's salesmen who could run with it 100% on themselves, create visuals, create handouts, books, all that, and others who are not that good at it, or maybe even tech support and applications. Certain people can design things and others, but now that we have a core way it should be presented and a core group working on that, the people who aren't really that good at that have a whole team that can make their stuff look just as good as that senior engineer who's been dabbling that on the side
Right.
for the last decade and has some of the best, presentations they've ever seen.
Right. If we're doing our job right, the sales, outside sales, they're sticking to what they do best. They don't need to, especially someone that doesn't have the acumen for design. They could sit and look at their screen for hours and hours and not get anywhere.
Yeah.
And so we want to lift that burden from them and provide them that direction and that type of material for them. Make their job a lot easier.
I mean, that dials back again to the blanket conversation of Barnum value added. I mean, the marketing department has such a value added internally that, like I said, lets our salesmen sell, let our tech support things like that, because now they don't have to play around in Photoshop and rip their hair out because they can't figure it out. We
Right.
got people that know it already.
Yeah. And most likely we've already done it.
Exactly.
So,
That's that too. There's probably something there.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Mhm.
One of the things that I think that we do well is just our ideation, coming up with ideas that are conversation starters for our outside sales. It's tough to get in a lot of these plants, and it's tough to maintain a conversation with a lot of these clients. And we provide the content that allows them to start a conversation, and it's not just about sales. So, for instance, coming up, we've got Automate, and one of the promotions that we don't have a booth at Automate, but we were challenged with the assignment of how can we get our brand and get Barnum out on that floor other than just walking. And one of the ideas that we came up with that really was successful was it's called the Barnum Supplier Search. And what it is basically is, since we don't have a booth and we have a lot of our valued supplier partners out on the floor with booths, is that we said we're gonna come up with an idea that will drive traffic to your booth and drive engagement. A lot of times at these shows, you get people just walk by.
Yep.
They don't really engage with the supplier, talk about their product. So we came up with Supplier Search. It's roughly 25 suppliers that we're partnered with, and we're asking them to go and engage with the supplier, take a picture of a QR code. If they meet all these challenges, they get entered into a grand prize, and they win, a Yeti cooler or a Traeger grill. But the main thing is that not only are we supplying value for our internally for Barnum, but our outside suppliers are seeing the value that our internal marketing group is giving them.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's a solution.
You're literally driving people to talk to them. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I've been to Automate too, and most of the time we just kind of waltz by and look at stuff.
Right.
Take our own personal notes, and it really doesn't do anything for getting contacts or whatnot.
Yeah.
But you're kind of forcing a little bit of a conversation now, which is
they love it
great.
because a lot of these suppliers do not have the marketing, I guess, strength to do that or to advertise. And so it was just something that we're providing them that a lot of them are seeing value in.
Now, for people listening that might be a customer that's going to Automate, is that something they need to pre-register for?
They can pre-register, or it's not. It's through the browser, so there's no download, but there's a link for the promotion. They can do it at any point that they can register at any point that they're on.
So if they find a QR code that's associated with Barnum there, that's basically, it's going to bring them to the site to get started?
Not the QR code. The QR code is just managing the challenge that they went to that booth. But there's a link that they can go to that goes to the platform, and they fill out and register, and then they're ready to do the search.
Okay, because I know you guys email blasted it out as a newsletter type of thing. If there was any other option for if they didn't get that email, where do they find it? They just reach out to
their sales rep, and they'll get it for them. Yeah.
cool.
And here's the thing. It's sort of under the radar, although I'm broadcasting it right now. It's under the radar, like a guerrilla promotion that we're doing. So there's not going to be any signs out there that says click here to register. It's just more word of mouth.
Yeah.
But that tends to work very in our favor as well. But yeah, reach out to your sales
Well,
rep.
yeah, because then that's kind of on the salesman too. You want to get your customers and your friends involved. If you haven't talked to them in a couple of weeks, here's your opportunity to go let them know, hey,
Yeah.
we're doing this at
And it's-
Automate. Get going.
Right, because this. Everyone knows if your sales rep is calling you, they're trying to sell you something, and this is something that's that we're not trying to sell you anything. We're trying to give some prizes.
back.
Yeah, give back.
With some of the
surprise.
prizes on there, awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, straight up gift cards and a Traeger, like
Oh, it's
yeah.
unbelievable.
Like, if you're a customer and you're going to Automate and not participating in that, you're missing out.
Yeah,
Like, straight up. missing out.
Absolutely. Speaking of giving back, and this goes in line with our culture, we also are running a. It's not necessarily an organization, but with all the like older product that we have, instead of like tossing it out and it doesn't have value because new products are coming in every day, we have a program called Barnum Reach. And what that does is takes all the sort of dead stock that's old, and we donate those to, that product to the schools that have robotics programs.
Yeah.
And so they
first
get
robotics
an
teams,
influx,
things like that.
with their robotics team. So we've been doing that since the inception of our marketing group. But it's another way that we're giving back. It's another solution. It's providing value. If you look at the product as content, it's providing value to that school system. And then it's also, extending our brand and our brand perception as being active in the community as
Yeah, a
well.
little local reach like that.
Yeah.
And I mean, how many of our customers' kids are probably doing that and might see our logo on something,
Right,
and
right.
spark something right
Exactly.
off of that, just subtly, Who kind of leads that, or actually not even leads that, but like what's the process on that? Do we just kind of pick some places to go to, or do some schools reach out to us, or is there just
We started with picking a school.
Yep.
I believe our first one was Brighton. But then through just internal communication to the outside sales, they were identifying schools for us. And
Sure.
now there's a list. I mean, there's a list that we're trying to hit. I mean, I love it because then you get these kids writing little letters back to us saying how great it was to receive these products and how well
It's a
their
cool
team
program.
is doing.
I helped volunteer with them when I first got out of college, my first job with the local robotics team, and that is quite the project that those
because I mean
schools put on.
it's like thousands of dollars of product that has not no value, but they're not we can't use them with the new products that are coming out, so they're just sitting there.
And they rely on sponsors to give them stuff, and I mean it's not part of their school. It's all extracurricular, so like when you help fund something like that means a lot.
It does. It really does.
I guess kind of coming right back to the marketing department as a whole, how many people you got in there now?
Counting me 5.
5?
Yeah. And each of us, what's great about that is that we're not all siloed. Everyone in our group can pretty much handle everything that's being thrown at us. So it's not just a web person and a social media person and a designer, and a writer.
You might have people that are kind of focused in those areas, but
right?
It's not. This is only your
correct. Yeah, there's there's in our group there are people that are owning particular things, but it's not that they're owning it and no one else can do that job. We really work very, very well together. I've worked in advertising for over 35, 40 years, and I've never had a team as sharp as the team that I have right now.
Well,
to say something.
Props to them. I'm sure they're listening or will watch this because it's good to hear. I mean, I think that's always a point to hit, especially with a company like ours that's so technologically advanced, where people will kind of I don't know, kind of be leery of using people that don't know the technology or
Mhm.
don't know our product lines right off the bat. Like, oh, it's just marketing people. They're not going to help me as much. I'm the expert on this.
Right.
But knowing, from your experience that your group has the capability and
Yeah.
they're sharp,
Yeah. They
it,
do.
it helps a lot
And
knowing that people who are genius level with our product can feel comfortable coming to you guys and then
yeah.
stuff's going to get done.
Exactly. And the thing is that they may be the subject matter expert
Mm-hmm.
in what they are doing, but in the end, at the end of the day, we're all consumers.
Yeah.
And there's a way to interact. There's a way to engage with consumers.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if you're talking about rocket science or cantaloupe. You still got to engage them, show them the value, and then provide a way for them to consume whatever it is so that they get the message.
Yeah. And if you're an individual or a group that knows how to get the answers, that's what matters.
Yeah.
Instead of just, shrugging it off
Yeah.
or saying we can't do that.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I guess, kind of looking at my notes, gosh, we're covering a lot of stuff. You guys do a ton in that marketing department, more than just email people all day and tell them to come buy our stuff. Is there anything that you guys do too that's like really big and out there for the company that we never really did before, like getting Barnum published in certain things or special
great point.
awards
Great
or things
point.
like that without the marketing department that probably really wouldn't exist?
Correct. Yeah. One of the things that we've been very successful at is when we get awards, when we get Distributor of the Year awards, we've been very successful as getting press releases out there and getting them picked up by these major industry media outlets. So where before,
Not just the local Brighton newspaper.
correct. No, we're getting like I think it's like Manufacturing in Focus and these big industry outlets that are touching like over 200,000 subscribers. So that's something we've never been able to do before, and that's huge because we are not currently looking at paid media or online media buys, although I have in the works a particular strategy that I want to present to get online coverage to our new territories in the South.
Sure.
And I think to be able to do that, we need to get a little bit of muscle in the digital space to do that.
Yeah, it really does seem like a company can really, not even just a company, individuals and companies can get a massive boost in traffic online now with just the smallest thing. You just got to hit one good article, one good content video, a couple good posts that get shared by the right people, and man, the traffic can come.
Yeah, we're in doing this. We're in the right lane. So and we're doing it right. By creating this content, creating the collateral that we do, publishing these videos is the right thing to do.
And it's not saying that Barnum's reaching for customers like we're lagging behind or anything.
Right.
It sure seems like we got more than enough on our plate when it comes to our salesmen having customers and everyone being busy, but the way we are growing and expanding, man, the potential's literally
right. So
limitless.
it's a tough sell because when I go in front of management, I'm trying to sell some digital media buys. They're like, "You guys are doing a great job with your video and your production, all you're doing." So it's like very, very, very tough.
Maybe we can take our 100 clicks and turn that into 10,000.
10,000.
Clicks,
Yeah, exactly. I've had ideas that I've sold them. I'm getting into the weeds, but I said, find the clients that you want to get in with down south, and we'll find out where the decision makers live and find out what path they take to get to the office. And then buy a big billboard that says Barnum. But that didn't fly.
I always feel like forever I was like, billboards are such a waste. But how many billboards have been ingrained in your brain forever?
Yeah, right. They work. They work for a small group, but you've got to get that foot traffic past them to be able to work. But but that's just an example of some of the ideas that we could actually publish.
Um, do you guys design? I mean, like I guess with that kind of getting more stuff in front of people, when you guys have giveaways, merchandise, Barnum labeled stuff, is that kind of a thought process design with your group? Is there an external group that handles all of that, or is there like I don't know, like how does all that kind of fit in as well?
The
Yeah.
ideation
Yeah.
and the fashion
Mhm.
all comes from our group. And then we have a very talented and quality driven partner that creates them.
Okay.
That does they put they call them decorations. They put the decorations on the clothing.
That's a good way to
Yeah,
say it.
and so we've made the shift from just so merch to some really high end good
Mhm.
stuff that people want to wear.
I mean, just alone, some of the jackets and shirts and accessories, they're pretty high brand name stuff.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah. But that's
there's a nice
Barnum too.
investment
I
in
mean,
that,
when you
man.
think of Barnum, you think of quality,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
don't.
and
I don't know
high
how
end
many
like that.
customers. I don't know how many customers I've been into, and I'm wearing I don't know a Carhartt with Barnum on it in the winter, and that customer was razzing the salesman. When am I getting one of those? Those are awesome.
Right.
Like like when someone's excited to want to wear a jacket with our logo on it versus just their own. That's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
that's very
That's
cool.
pretty cool.
Right.
Because
Right.
most time people are like, "It's my distributor's logo on my shirt. I don't care. I don't
Yeah, I mean, we
wanna
have
wear that."
like
But people are
we have Stormy Cromer hats that are
yeah.
made, I think up north
Mm-hmm.
with the Barnum logo on it, and we had those for winter that were just going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Sims jackets. It's just really, really good stuff.
Yeah, it's investing in this little bit nicer quality stuff. It seems to really pay off. Gets
Yeah,
people excited about it. I
right.
think you know how many golfers there are too, and we're giving out really high end golf balls with Barnum on it too, instead
I
of just
know.
like the bucket o' balls type
Right,
of thing.
right. Just hope you don't hit a window with our Barnum logo on
Right.
it.
They know who to come after right
Right?
away. Um, events too. We've talked about all the other marketing.
Yes.
Events is a big thing
Yeah,
as well.
events.
I mean, we do internal and external events. Even have someone who's really dedicated to really planning that.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
Yep. Events are the very physical face of Barnum. I mean, the very intimate face of Barnum, and we are doing events from 6 to 10 people to over 400. Yeah, which is massive, and so there's nothing that our department can't pull together or coordinate. Again, we are the support arm for our outside sales. We're there to help. I mean, if you look at the trailer going around the country,
that's trailer's one giant event on its own.
one event on wheels, and so the logistics behind that, from parking the trailer, getting food there, making sure it's a success, registering the individuals so that we have contacts, we can do follow up, to doing a 360 of inside the trailer so that after someone actually physically visits the trailer event, then we can send them a virtual copy of it to walk through. So everything's sort of like tying in together, but I can't tell you how important those events are, because it's exciting. You're face to face. It also provides the breadth of what Barnum actually is representing and distributing in the products, and how we can come up with the solutions that we do.
And then you guys also, I mean, are doing internal events just to keep that family and fun culture going as well, whether it's a company picnic or a golf outing or things like that, or
Yeah.
even just events when everyone's supposed to come into town from all over the place for our sales meeting.
Right,
You guys at
curling,
least do something for them
Curling,
to-
obstacle courses where
they're
they
ex-
take very serious.
they're
I mean,
excited to
these
come
guys.
and do
These guys
this.
are competitors. I mean, people are spraying Pam on the obstacle course to try and make it either slick for the opponent or slick so that they can get themselves through whatever tunnel is that they're getting through. To curling, putting all our sales guys out on ice. You know, I mean,
I mean, yeah. Again, boiling back down to that culture. If people aren't excited to come do stuff with their coworkers,
yeah,
man, the work atmosphere is going to be pretty boring.
right. I mean, we just had a shooting event
Yeah.
sporting clay, which is
Sporting
amazing.
clays is super cool. I
So
mean,
fun.
even just the little events like that, you guys probably help out with our Barnum Cares group with like some cleanups and other things like
Yes.
that too. And we see it all the time where people are like, "Yeah, I spend 40 to 60 hours a week in the office with this coworker, and then I'm spending the weekends with them too. They're
Right.
my friends. They're not just my coworkers. Like,
Exactly.
you know, we're making sure the team stays a team.
Right.
And there isn't just some animosity
Well,
between everybody that
right.
go
I mean,
home.
it sounds cliche, but it's family. You know, you spend time with your family.
Yep. And then when people are constantly, let's say, sharing on their personal social media things they're doing with work individuals,
Yeah.
that is marketing on its own when their customers and stuff see that. Look how
Right.
just excited everyone is to do stuff
Yeah.
with each other at Barnum.
Exactly.
You know, you guys can, a salesman can go to their customer and show off pictures from their curling event and stuff like that, just to show.
I know,
Here,
it's
look
ridiculous.
Look at this ridiculous stuff we did. You know, maybe they're old salesmen. You know, the new salesman got to show their customer how they beat them in
Yeah.
the obstacle course or something. Just
Yeah.
this is a fun
I mean,
little
we've looked at-
conversation
We've
starter.
looked at
yeah.
axe throwing too, which is, you know, but we don't want to lose anybody.
Yeah, we got some competitors.
I know, we do. We really do. Fun.
I guess that leads into, I mean, my notes talking about the like Barnum being top workplace. We've got that a few times too, and that again, it's just like that culture and
Yeah, that's very difficult to get because we get close to like 97% participation. So that's 97% of our work employees are willing to sit down, take a survey, and talk about the
And I don't think
company.
you guys are dangling anything in front of
No,
them to do that
no,
survey
they-
either.
they-
You say, you do it, I'm going to give you lunch tomorrow. I don't really think there's a.
They do it. I think
yeah.
the average with the company that the third party that we use is, I think it's like 60% participation. And
It's a huge jump.
yeah, but to get 90, you know, above 90%,
Yeah.
and to get the positive feedback that we're getting, and it's anonymous. So anybody
You would
can
almost
say
think
anything.
managers are gaslighting everyone into doing it. but
No, they're not. They're not. But they could be. No, but they're not. And so that's really impressive. That helps with recruitment. That also reinforces our word of mouth about our culture, because it's scientifically proven in terms of the survey. So. And also there is some. It's not all, you know, rose-colored glasses. I mean, there are some constructive comments that people are offering that are helping guide the ship in the right direction and to nurture this culture. A lot of people have would have anxiety as a company grows that the culture would be diminished, that it becomes more corporate, more by the numbers, and what was built could be wiped away. But being showing that much value and importance on it to because these surveys aren't cheap to do.
I can imagine.
And but the management sees the value, understands the value of what we've created over the years in terms of the culture, and wants to maintain it.
Well, and the fact that if you get 90+%, you're going to get the good and bad feedback in there, which is extremely useful.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
And I would assume there's not even that much bad
Right.
feedback, but the things that you do get wouldn't happen if everyone.
Right. You don't want
didn't
people
participate
as
because
a
people
manager.
who
You don't
have-
want people saying yes to you all the time, even if the thing sucks. You
Yeah.
know, oh yeah, it looks great. No,
There's not a person ever that doesn't have room for improvement.
yeah.
Like,
I'll tell you
think
something
you're
funny.
that perfect, then you
I
probably
was-
shouldn't be.
I was
part of
creating
this.
something for Barnum Cares, and it was I don't know, some sort of poster, and it was all U of M. That's what. So I had to put a stadium in the U of M stadium in the background, and I had an intern, and I'm showing them. You know, hey, does that look great? And I guess the intern was shy and spoke to one of his colleagues and goes, should I tell him that that's the University of Iowa's stadium? And I was like, yes, tell me.
That's
So,
like the
but
classic. You really appreciate when someone lets you know your fly
100
is down
100
or something.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
That.
100. Hey, you got something here.
Exactly.
You know, but yeah, so that's but that's to the point of constructive criticism and being able to, guide the ship and not just all yes
Yeah,
men and women.
100%. I think, for everyone else who's been listening or watching too, be nice just to give a little shout out to everyone else in your department here. We got you on, we got Stefan, we got the director, but who else all is there?
So we have Jenny Kogler,
Mm-hmm.
and she runs the events and recruitment, does a great job. We have Jessica Barnes, who is currently in the mix of designing our new website that will go along and be built on or off of the ERP system. And then we have our fashion guru and events person, which is Jordan Block. And then we have a newly hired Aiden Riley, who is supporting us with the podcast. So if this podcast sucks today,
Yeah.
you know who to
Pull
pull out, which is
we are live here, so he can't say no.
Okay, that's enough.
We got the behind the scenes.
Right, perfect. But yeah, so that's the core team, and as I said before, I've never ever had a team like this before, and it's amazing. And to have a company that really gave us a blank canvas. I mean, to a company that really wasn't creating this type of content.
Mm-hmm.
They provided this studio for us with, not really knowing where it would go, and obviously you stepped right in and are perfect for it.
Yeah, this thing was collecting dust, in my opinion, and I really wanted to use it more.
Yeah.
We did some training videos. I think we really put this together because of lockdown and COVID.
Right.
We needed to do more virtual stuff, and it just kind of teetered off. No one wanted to put the effort into it because we have so many other projects we're working on. And
Right.
I'm glad we were able to do this.
Yeah.
And marketing jumped on my back for it too, and wanted
we're
to
all
get
over
on it. Like,
there's nothing better than walking down the hallway and seeing recording in progress. Please be quiet. It's
and
exciting.
the amount of people that kind of stopped, like, oh,
Yeah.
who's in there today,
Right.
or all that, which is cool. And I mean, just the reach that you guys have in general with everything you're doing in marketing, and then this even is reaching more internal even too. Like, there's people in the warehouse or in our lab that didn't know some of the stuff at all
Right.
that we're talking about on this, and they're interested to watch because their coworker, their
Right.
friend is
Yeah,
on the
on it.
podcast, and then maybe they'll share it and other people see it, and
Right.
our suppliers are learning stuff too, and like, oh, that's awesome when we can
Yeah.
share that, get that
Yeah.
out. But I think overall, the marketing team has really been chugging along.
Yeah,
Wait,
we're doing. Yeah, we're not maxing out, but we are just humming
mhm.
right now.
Now, if anyone external, our suppliers or even customers, want to ever get involved with your group, that is open. If they
Yes,
want to, help with some campaigns or
Yes,
do some
we're very active.
peer-to-peer marketing.
Yep, we're very actively working with, Banner, Belden, SMC, Weidmuller, Lutza, Lenza, with their marketing groups, and that only came about because in this, just recently we were able to expand our group in terms of amount of people. We now have the bandwidth to actually interact and collaborate with the other marketing groups.
Sure.
And they're wanting that too, because again, we're in the trenches. They're manufacturers, and so we're helping move their product, and they really want to work with us, and it's been wonderful. But we haven't been able to do that in the past because we didn't have the bandwidth to do it. Now we do, and we have the capabilities.
Suppliers too are mainly, they're marketing more global.
Yeah.
But larger reach. They're not local into places individually where that could be an extremely thriving opportunity.
Yes.
Which we are the more local reach.
That's a great point. They are global. They have a bigger picture in terms of where their brand is, in terms of their shareholders, their board of directors. They have to be responsible to them. And when we come in, we're on the 2 tracks in the back alleys, and we really know our way around that. And so we provide that value to them.
We're graffitiing the Barnum logo in alleys.
We had that in mind. That was an idea.
Well, I think actually, one more little quick thing. Is there something internal, Barnum wise. Other departments, outside sales knows what you guys do for them. The warehouse knows what they do for them. Is there anything that like just overall that you guys are capable of that others might not know, that if they do want to get involved
I
with
would,
something?
you know what? I would challenge anyone to come in and try and stump us. So if there's something that they need, come see us and we'll make it happen. And that could be anywhere from, a landing page to a, huge banner that needs to be created to, just coming up with some
Ugly
ideas.
Christmas sweaters for the warehouse or
That,
something.
yes, yes. Or Christmas cards.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would challenge them, and our door is always open.
It's a big door too.
Yeah, and and for the record, our walls are made of glass, and a lot of people come in and they call it the fishbowl. I want to say that it's the aquarium, the marketing aquarium.
There's a little bit more pizzazz and a little bit more filtration. than
Right?
just a
Yeah,
general
yeah.
fishbowl.
It's not stinky water.
Well, good deal. Thank you
Yeah,
for
thank you.
having the conversation with me today. I'm sure in the future when we're doing other events, other things like that, some other marketing faces will be on camera.
Yeah, I'd love to get them on camera.
And we'll talk about all other fun stuff. But now everyone knows a little bit of what's going on in the background, and these little podcasts and things like that don't just come out of nothing. There's a whole crew working on everything back there.
Yep.
So thanks again, everyone listening and watching. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Automation Nation, and we'll catch you next time.
Yep. Thank you.